Ridley Scott has said that the reason that he held off making a sci-fi movie for so long after Alien and Blade Runner was that it's so hard to be original in that genre. But I was so impressed by Krypton in this movie. It felt like nothing I'd seen on screen before. What did you make of the vision of Krypton?
Yeah, well, I thought it was kind of special. I mean, that was one of the things that was very attractive when I read the script because, you know, even though I haven't seen any other Superman movie, I hadn't heard that they'd actually gone to Krypton. I know, you know, there's sort of like you have an interior version of Krypton, but never actually, you don't see how big the sun is compared to ours and all that sort of stuff. So when Zack sort of started describing that, you know, he is very definitely going to take people on that journey, I just thought it would be a very special and unexpected way to start the movie.
So how much of a Superman fan were you before you were cast?
Zero.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the dodgy old black and white TV show is all I remember, like getting home from school and that and Lucille Ball being the only thing on TV, you know.
So when you got David S. Goy's screenplay, that was, you in a way, like your first sort of view of Superman.
Yeah, and I was kind of cynical about it. I didn't think I was going to be attracted to it, but I was kind of impressed by it, you know. And I ended up reading it a couple of times in a row because it was kind of complicated, and that sacrifice that Jor-El makes at the beginning started weighing heavily on me. I guess because I'm a dad. That it was like something, you know, things like that made me then go and have a conversation with Zack as well.
And how encouraging were your sons to take on the role, perhaps share their father with Superman?
I didn't bring it up with them until after it was a fait accompli because, you know, I didn't want them to get them excited and then me read the script and it wasn't what I wanted it to be, you know. But when I told them, I sort of lined the two of them up and said, listen, boys, I'm going to be Superman's dad. And they got all excited, and then my oldest one thought about it for a while, you know. And I said, so if I'm Superman's dad, what does that make you? And he goes, oh, Superman's brother.
Awesome. I love kids' logic, yeah. Henry Cavill was just telling me about your visit to a school, actually, when you were shooting there, and the photo that you gave him, the signed photo, and he said that he used to look at that and it kept him going over the years. What memory did you have of sort of writing him that letter?
Well, you know, I was there shooting, and there was another kid from his school who was actually playing my son in that movie, Proof of Life, Merlin Hanbury Tennyson, his name was. And funnily enough, I have another connection to Stowe School through a kid called Jack Randall, who was one of the junior officers, midshipmen on Jack Aubrey's boat and Master and Commander. So I have this strange connection to this school for some reason. And I remember the conversation, you know, and that's why I sent him something to the school, because there was just something in the back of his eyes, you know, something beyond the confidence that it took or the chutzpah that it took to actually come over and ask me the questions that he asked me. And I remember being that way when I was younger too, you know. Not that I was kind of a shy kid, but then every now and then an opportunity would come up, and I would just know that this is the only opportunity I'm going to have to ask this question, so I'd ask that question. So there was kind of like a little bit of recognizing him as a member of my tribe or something, you know what I mean? And what I emphasized when I talked to him is that, you know, no matter how ludicrous you think that this dream is, it is really possible for this to happen. I come from Wellington, New Zealand, and here is you're asking me about acting, I'm talking to you on a film set in England, you know. You know, it's purely going to be up to you. Nobody's going to give this to you. Nobody's going to make it easy for you. In fact, people are going to probably do the opposite, you know. And there was just something about his, you know, the focus he had when he was asking the question that made me actually put that little package together. Because I put one together for the other kid that played my son, Merlin, you know. And I was packing up to go to Poland because that's where the movie was going on to. And I just sort of went through my mind, you know, if I was at boarding school, unexpected mail would be the greatest pleasure possible, you know. So I put a package together for him as well, because I remembered his name. You know, and I wrote that thing on the you know, journey of 1,000 steps, 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And it's funny because, you know, in my career, I've had a few karmic circles like that as well. You know, my first job was a 6-year-old. I did a scene opposite an Australian actor called Jack Thompson. And 20-odd years later, he played my dad in a movie, and he remembered the conversation that we had. You know, so yeah, it was pleasurable. You know, these sort of things don't happen often, but when they do happen, it's wonderful.
Russell Crowe, thanks very much.